What is up, you guys? This is your boy Andy Matrix. I talk about anime, manga, video games, geek culture, and Japanese culture. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell for future notifications, and make sure to like the video. I'm on a journey to get 1,000 subscribers, so if you're interested in helping me, subscribe to the channel, guys. Now, I am at sankakucomplex.com, but I'm gonna be using another information source to prove that this is actually happening. You know, I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it at first. I mean, I had to dig deeper. But here it says, majority of Japanese school boards have eliminated gender from applications. One more time. Majority of Japanese school boards have eliminated gender from applications. Does that sound familiar? This whole like gender thing? Does that sound familiar? Does that sound like something that's happening in the West? Right? I mean, we hear it all the time in the West. In the UK, in, you know, European countries, Canada, America. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. So they're removing gender from applications in Japanese schools. And thus far, to be fair, it seems as though they're only doing it in Tokyo because Tokyo is a global city. Tokyo is the global city of Japan. You know? So let's Tokyo's the global city of Japan. So let's just keep that, you know, keep that in mind. So it says another strange decision that some might label as suspicious that swept over Japan as students applying for public high school will no longer need to designate their gender on the application form, bound to have some wondering if this was influenced by the insane gender cultists of the West. Yeah, actually, I was wondering the same thing. As I just said. It said this change was allegedly implemented in Japan's 47 prefecture, except for Tokyo. And as per usual, many suspects this is due to the increased awareness of transgender individuals, the LGBT. He's making fun of it right here. It says LGBT, UUDDD, contingent and sentient helicopters that label themselves non-binary. So people that label themselves as non-binary. So the writer of this article is like making fun of it, right? Those words did not come from my mouth. Anyway, so here it says Tokyo's Metropolitan Board of Education has refrained from this change as it has established a gender-based quota system for full-time schools with general courses. So I was actually wrong. I was wrong. I apologize. I was wrong. It turns out that it's except for Tokyo. So Tokyo has refrained from this change, but every other school in Japan is actually applying it. It says local boards of education stated that gender in application form was present for fiscal 2018 admission, but Osaka and Fukuoka eradicated them come fiscal 2019. Which other prefectures copied in the years after. It says Yamagata, Tochigi, Gunma, Chiba, and by the way, these are all like prefectures, like locations, towns in Japan, right? It said these towns will be ignoring the concept of gender as well for fiscal 2022 and onwards. Oh my goodness! Wow. I don't know what to say about this. So in applications for school, this is for kids. I mean, it's not like it's for adults, like people over 18, over 21. This is for kids, like high schoolers, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, right? Wow. It said these towns will be ignoring the concept of gender as well as fiscal 2022. This sounds like California to me. This sounds like California. This sounds like what they're doing in New York with some schools. This is freaking crazy, bro. It says Tochigi's Prefectural Board of Education asserted that that it respected sexual diversity, and Chiba explained they didn't see any issues with taking the gender field away. Okay. I mean, I hope at least you're teaching the kids about what's a boy and what's a girl. Oh man, wow. This is kind of concerning, because this. And by the way, look, I'm not saying this to attack anybody. I'm not trying to attack an LGBT person that's listening to this or anybody. But the fact that the West has had this much, or it seems as though it's had a huge influence on Japan as far as like the whole gender thing, which is being pushed by, American leftism, right? It says Tokyo's board was hit with criticism, claiming the differing paths marked for men and women is sexist, causing them to revise the gender-based quota system they have in place. In an official also uttered that the gender field was essentially unnecessary. 34-year-old transgender male Mameta Endo, who is a representative of Nijitsu, a sexual monitoring support group, shared a remark. It says, removing the field will eliminate the need for students to write a gender different from what they identify as, which in turn will help eliminate gender discrimination. Why do I bring this up? Because as this is becoming a huge part of Japanese culture, we're going to see more of this in anime. We're going to see more of this in manga. We're going to see more of this in Japanese movies, things like that. And honestly, to be fair, I don't think it's going to be as bad as the West, okay? I don't think it's going to be as bad as the West. I don't think it's going to be to that extreme, but it's there. Okay? And then I look deeper. I say, is this real? Is this really happening? The Sankaku complex just got it from some other like blog. And so I went to an actual source of information for Japan. I went to Japan Times, right? Japan Times, which is basically the New York Times of Japan, right? It says, nearly all Japan's global boards scrape gender field on applications. Right? It says all of Japan's prefectures, with the exception of Tokyo, will no longer require students applying to enter public high schools from next spring to specify their gender on the applications form. So as of Sunday, students applying to enter public high school from next year will no longer. Okay. So the decision comes amid growing awareness of transgenderism and non-binary individuals in Japan, many of whom may face psychological distress having to specify a gender they do not identify with. The Tokyo Metropolitan Board of Education will be the only one to retain the gender field because it has established a gender-based quota system to full-time schools with general courses. And by the way, this is how it starts. First, it starts with, oh, okay, let's take out the gender field on applications. And then after that, oh, we're going to teach these kids about gender, right? That's how it starts. That's what's happening in the West. And that's what's happening. That's what's being pushed in the media, in movies, in TV shows, in comic books, in video games. It's being pushed. It's being pushed. And it's finally made its way to Japan. So, yeah. Yeah, guys. I mean, I'm laughing right now. But this is more of a laughter of despair, right? This is like a laughter of despair. So, I wish there was like a nice way of ending this video, but there isn't. Okay, so that's it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell for future notifications. Like this video. Comment below and tell me what you think. Seriously, I want to hear what you have to say. Tell me. Comment below. I'll see you in the next video. This is Andy Matrix. Godspeed.